Of examination in chief of this witness. My sincerest apologies. I suggest when we get there in the future, you may need to expand the time. It's completely impossible to do a good job.
Very well.
And the reason I changed the chair is I started suffering muscle pulls. I'm not used to sitting on these expensive chairs.
I thought the Meru people are very athletic. The way you drive your Nissans when you are carrying a mirror, you are very agile. Anyway, thank you very much, Counsel, and thank you, witness. The work you have just done is not easy. You have put in a lot of industry, and I hope you are happy that you have presented your evidence. Before we go to the second part of your matter, allow me to acknowledge the following colleagues in the House. Senator Samson Kirara K.
Yes, now the transcript in translation to that video is the governor was at Igoji Westward and she was trashing the process that was used to reject one of the nominees from that area where she was. She was the nominee for youth. And then she says that even if the MCA for this area led the process of rejecting her, I will bring her here as an administrator so that they can be pushing each other from here. Because she was a contestant in the previous election against that MCA, then the governor nominated her. So the governor was directing that she's going to bring her into government and bring her right into that ward where she was contesting so that she can be able to deal with that MCA because of rejecting her to be a CCM member of the County Assembly of Meru.
What should the governor do if a CEC nominee is rejected by the Assembly?
She is supposed to resubmit names with a fresh list to the County Assembly for consideration according to the County Assembly's Approval Act. Has the governor done that? No, she did not do that. Indeed, she usurped the powers granted to the CCM under the County Governments Act, under the County Governments Act, and she reduced the ministries from 10 to 6, that is 46 of the County Government Act, and she reduced the ministries to 6 and said she is not going to submit any new names. She just, the 3 who are approved out of 10, she gave them more departments, and the deputy governor one more department, and collapsed the department without the involvement of CECs who had been approved themselves and refused to submit fresh names for consideration.
Is the governor allowed to conduct public vilification campaigns against an assembly for rejecting a CEC nominees?
Of course not.
Now, very quickly, I'll show you the response by the governor to the motion before you. To the best of your knowledge, was the governor given the opportunity to defend herself before the assembly?
Yes. The assembly gave her a notice. I also gave her a notice according to the directions that were issued by the court, because I brought the first motion and it was quashed by the courts. Then later on I brought this motion that is before this house, and then we gave her a notice to appear either by herself or her legal representatives, and she refused to do that.
Chair, that invitation is to be found at page 49 of volume 3. Page 49 of volume 3 of the Assembly's documents. So these documents she has now placed before the Senate. Did the Assembly have the benefit of considering them now that she never responded to the motion?
No, the members of the Assembly did not have the benefit of looking at the various defenses she has put forth for the charges placed before the Assembly.
Let's go to page 2 of our volume 2. Chair, the volume 2 of the governor's response. You have opened page 2 of the governor's response. It's 2 in bold at the bottom. That document, sir, is dated 22nd of October, right?
Yes.
Would the governor with due diligence have placed this document before the assembly?
Yes, she should have brought it before the assembly.
Let's go to the document by Honorable Simon Kiambi at page 9 of the governor's response. Honorable Kiambi says MCAs were coerced and unduly influenced, paragraph 4 of that affidavit. Has he disclosed who coerced them?
No, he has not.
He talks of violence, harassment, and other things. Has he disclosed who was harassing them?
He has not disclosed, neither has he said that he reported to the police about this violence, physical violence that he said was meted on him.
He says MCAs feared being denied privileges at paragraph 8. Has he identified the privileges in question and who was threatening to withdraw them?
No, he said that the privileges granted by their parties is the deputy majority party whip, and that has not been denied or taken away by the party from him.
Let's go to page 12. There is a transcript of a video. Was this video available to the governor at the time of the impeachment?
Yes, the video was available.
Could she, with due diligence, have placed it before the assembly?
She should have placed it before the assembly.
Did she actually place it before the assembly?
No, she did not.
What about the video alluded to at page 24, the transcript? Was it available to the governor at the time of the impeachment?
Yes, by the date, this should have been adduced at the assembly.
Did she adduce it before
No.
the assembly?
No.
Let's go to page 27 of our response, in which she invites us to conclude is because she's a woman. That is why she has these problems, and she alludes this to show that the former governor, who was a man, equally appointed his spouse. Does that document refer to a decision by the former governor?
No, this is a decision of the County Executive Committee dated 22nd March 2018.
So does that document show that the problems the governor has is because she's a woman?
No, our problems do not relate in any way to being a woman.
This decision at page 27 cites a particular section of the law. As the governor in her voluminous response pointed a single section of the law permitting her to do any of the multiple things she's done?
No, she did not point to the laws that were permitting her to appoint the spouse to county offices.
Let's go to page 42. What's the date on that document?
31st October 2022.
Was this document available as at the time of the impeachment?
Yes, it was available and it was not adduced at the county assembly.
Let's go to the one at page 45. Was this document available to the governor at the time of the impeachment?
Yes.
By the date written there?
145, this could not have been available because it's dated 19th December. Oh no.
No,
this
page 45. Page 45. My page 45, Chair, is the letter from the Speaker. I hope we're on the same page.
Yes, this is dated 1st November 2022.
Was it available to the
To
governor?
the governor, and she should have adduced it at the county assembly hearings.
But the last paragraph of that letter tells the governor to do something. What does it tell her?
It is asking her that she had got a consultative meeting of Meru leaders, and the speaker replied by telling her to consider postponing the scheduled meeting to another date because the members were not available at that particular date.
To the best of your knowledge, has the governor ever fixed another date?
She never fixed another date.
Is it therefore open to her to say it is the MCAs refusing to hear her or to hold consultative meetings?
No, she should have fixed another meeting by consulting with the speaker to see the schedules, when there are sittings or when there are likely training schedules for the MCAs. That's what she should have done.
Let's go to the document at page 51. What is the date of that document?
The date of this document is 23rd November 2022.
Was it available to the governor at the time of the impeachment?
Yes, it was available and it was not adduced to the county assembly.
Who has authored this document?
This has been authored by CPS, yes, Virginia Kawera, Acting Secretary stroke CEO, the County Public Service Board.
Has this person ever been vetted by the assembly as required by law?
No, the name has appeared the first time here in the replying affidavit. We don't know when she was appointed, and the name was never submitted.
Has this person sworn an affidavit before this Senate?
No, she has not.
Has she sworn a witness statement before this Senate?
She has not.
Let's go to the document at page 52. What is the date on that document?
This is dated 19th December 2022.
Is this before or after the impeachment?
It's after 14th December when the Assembly approved the impeachment motion.
So is this a document made before or after the event?
This was made as an afterthought after the event. That's when it was written.
Let's go to the document at page 53. What is the date on it?
This is 22nd November 2022.
Was it available to the governor at the time of the impeachment?
Yes, this was available.
Was it placed before the assembly?
It was not placed before the Assembly.
Who has signed it?
It has been assigned by Angelo K. Gitonga, the Acting Chief Officer, Legal Affairs, Public Service Management and Administration.
Is this a member of the County Public Service Board?
No.
Would this person therefore be competent to speak about the illegal appointments?
No.
Has this person, after all, sworn any evidence by way of affidavit or witness statement before the Senate?
No.
Let's go to the document at page 54. What is the date on that document?
The Tuesday, 22nd November 2022.
Was this document available to the governor at the time of the impeachment?
Yes, it was.
Was it placed before the assembly?
No.
Let's go to the document at page 64. When is this document sworn?
The 17th day of December 2022.
Is that before or after the impeachment?
After the impeachment.
Is it a document made after the event?
Yes.
Or before the event?
After the event.
Could this document with due diligence have been made earlier and placed before the assembly?
Yes, they could have sworn the affidavit when they were called upon to produce their evidence, the replying evidence at the assembly, and they did not.
Chair, that answer applies to all the documents up to page, so that I don't take more of your time than is necessary, to 67. Let's go to page 67 of the governor's response. What is the date?
It's dated 22nd November 2022.
22nd November 2022. Was this document available before, or rather at the time of the impeachment?
Yes, the document was available. It was not adduced at the county assembly.
Let's look at the bottom. Chair, my interest here is directors, because the illegal appointments were appointed at the directorate levels. At page 67, at towards the bottom, item 3, what is the number of years of experience required to be appointed director of protocol and events?
5 years.
At page 69, at the B, Roman 1, what is the relevant experience required for persons to be appointed at that directorship?
A bachelor's degree from a recognized university in
Yes.
specialized discipline.
Let's read B, Roman 1 at page 69. 69, item B, Roman 1.
Roman 1 is 69.
Page 69, Roman 1 and
Requirements for appointment.
yes, requirement for appointment.
Served in a comparable and relevant position for a minimum period of 5 years.
At page 70 for the Directorate of External Affairs, towards the bottom, B, Roman 1, what is the experience required?
Served in a comparable and relevant position for a minimum period of 5 years.
At page 71, again towards the bottom, B, Roman 1, how many years?
Five years.
To the best of your knowledge, sir, the illegal appointments complained in the impeachment motion, does any of those persons have the experience of 5 years in public affairs? Hilary Sandi, Muzungu, and the other.
The one I'm aware of is the Hilary Sandi, who was appointed the director of communication, who does not have the relevant experience.
The governor says she was entitled anyway in her response to appoint Hilary Sandi because it is one of the political appointments of the staff of the governor. Now let's go to page 76 of the governor's response. Under item 12, what is the advertisement made there?
Vacancy number MCPSB, dated 12th November 2022, Public Communications Officer, Officer 2.
Is that the job Hilary Sandi occupies?
Communications Officer 3, yes.
Would the governor or the county public service board be advertising this position if it were true that she was entitled to appoint Hilary Sandi just like she's entitled to appoint her chief of staff?
So I think Hilary was appointed the director of communication. So these people would be reporting to him. So he was not qualified, and I don't think they have advertised his position even though.
Was impeachment already in the looming when these advertisements were made?
Yeah, the appointment had been made, and the advertisement was done before the motion.
Let's go to page 79. The governor claims that this letter from the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee as an advisory on the basis of which she appointed Hilary Sandi. Is there anything in the content of that letter telling her that she can appoint people like Hilary Sandi to those positions?
Of course not. I've read through it. There's nothing like that.
As a matter of fact, sir, does the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee deal with issues of county appointments and their staffing?
Of course not. This one deals with the relationship between the county governments and the national government.
She cites a letter at page 81 from the Transition Authority as the basis for these illegal appointments. Would that justify the illegal appointments?
This one cannot justify them because the Transition Authority was established after the 2013 elections to oversee the transition to the new county government, and there were no officers in the county to do this, and they were given only that period of transition to be doing that. It was not a blanket. It was not a blank check to do that for anybody who comes into office.
At page 105, she is an affidavit by Edward Bundi Geoffrey. Is that affidavit at page 106, is it signed by the deponent?
No, it's not signed.
Is it signed by the Commissioner for Oaths?
It's not.
She has attached at page 112 a lease of the land the Catholic Church is alleged to have grabbed. Is the very existence of a lease consistent with the allegation of land grabbing?
It's not consistent.
Has this lease been terminated to the best of your knowledge?
It has not been terminated.
At page 113 of that lease, under item B towards the bottom, what does it say?
The landlord has caused to be erected on the same plot a building known as Diocese of Meru, registered trustees Egoji Boys School, hereafter referred to as the property.
Would that investment justify the payments the Catholic Diocese was receiving from the county government for use of those developments?
Yes, that would justify it because it has been acknowledged as the custodian, as the trustee for the land.
Let's go to page 137. Where does this document emanate from? 137.
Office of the Governor.
So is this a document from an independent source that can be taken seriously on its contents?
Point of order, Chair. Chair.
Senator Tobiko.
Chair, I'm just probably wondering aloud this line of questioning by the council on this particular witness, on the documents by the governor. What does it have to do with this particular witness? If we can be guided.
Yes, in fact, I was having the same discussion with the clerk, but we have permitted him on the grounds that probably they are trying to rebut the evidence by the governor. And since the governor is coming, they will know how to handle this. It doesn't in any way force us to take a position in their favor. It will depend on what the governor will say. Yeah.
That's precisely what we are doing, Chair, because this is the move of the motion. We are here to address you on the response to the motion. Page 137, sir. Who has authored this document from the top there?
The Governor.
Does this document have a date?
This appears not to be dated.
It is not dated.
Yes, it's
Is
not.
Is it a document from an independent source or from the person accused of the wrongdoing?
So it's a document used for self-defense.
It's a document used for self-defense. Let's look at page 156. That's a transcript of a video. Was this video available to the governor when the impeachment took place?
Yes, this video was available and was not adduced at the assembly.
Would the same apply to the video transcribed at page 159?
The same should apply.
What about the video at page 158?
The same should apply.
Let's go to the document at page 161. The governor's case is that Meru level 5 is autonomous. Are the directives we saw in the video giving consistent with the autonomous status of the Meru level 5 hospital?
Of course not.
Let's go to page 178. What is the date of the document?
24th October 2022.
Was this document available at the time of the impeachment?
Yes.
Was it placed before the assembly?
Of course not.
What about the one at page 179?
Yeah, this document is dated the 5th of July 2022. It was not produced at the assembly.
Lastly, sir, the governor says the reason she never availed herself of the opportunity to defend herself is because your motion was against a court order. Is that correct?
That's not correct.
Chair, the court order is reproduced in the Assembly's Volume 3. Volume 3 of the Assembly's document. At pages 170 to 171. We have also produced it also, Chair. I'm just trying to confirm. But we can make do with page 171 for now. Please read to the Senate the terms of the order that the High Court issued. From page 170, Chair. the order, sir. Read it for the Senate.
The impeachment motion dated 21st November 2022, scheduled for debate by members of the first respondent on the 30th November 2022 at 10 a.m. is flawed and it is quashed.
Does that order relate to the impeachment motion before the Senate?
It does not relate to the impeachment motion before the Senate.
Is the claim, therefore, that the reason the governor refused to defend herself, it is because the matter was in court valid?
That stance by the governor is invalid.
Chair, that's all for purposes of examination in chief of this witness. My sincerest apologies. I suggest when we get there in the future, you may need to expand the time. It's completely impossible to do a good job.
Very well.
And the reason I changed the chair is I started suffering muscle pulls. I'm not used to sitting on these expensive chairs.
I thought the Meru people are very athletic. The way you drive your Nissans when you are carrying a mirror, you are very agile. Anyway, thank you very much, Council, and thank you, witness. The work you have just done is not easy. You have put in a lot of industry, and I hope you are happy that you have presented your evidence. Before we go to the second part of your matter, allow me to acknowledge the following colleagues in the House. Senator Samson Chirara K.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's at the County Assembly of Meru where there was a Gazettean sitting. The governor was supposed to come and give her address. And when she came to the assembly, I think the day before, there was a communication to her that according to the way the environment is, she should avoid coming to the assembly at that particular point. But she came by force, like she acknowledged, and forced her way into the assembly. Then the members never walked out on her. They never listened to her during that day. And she acknowledged herself that she came in by force. She came with a crowd. And that crowd is the one now that started throwing stones immediately she left the assembly after the members had left. She walked out because she was left alone with the speaker in the assembly. Then she walked out. The crowd had gathered at the gate. That's where she's speaking from. And after that, the crowd now, after all the speech she made, telling them that these MCAs are cartels, thieves, that's when now the stone throwing started happening towards the assembly.
Are governors allowed to go to make their maiden speech accompanied by crowds to the assembly?
No.
Are governors allowed to have their crowns force their way through the precincts of the assembly?
No.
Has she placed any material before the Senate to show that MCAs were members of a cartel, as she says on the video?
No.
Chair, we now propose to deal with the allegation on PFM laws and their breach. And for that purpose, we will play Annex 18. The transcript is to be found at pages 122 to 127 of Volume 1. What is transpiring in this video, sir?
Yeah, the governor was giving waivers to patients at the Meru Level 5 hospital, and she was also directing the management of the Meru Level 5 hospital not to cease remitting the monies that they collect from the hospital to the county revenue fund and start spending it at source to procure medicines.
Does the Meru Level 5 have an independent management body?
Yes, they have an independent management body headed by the CEO.
Does the governor have any power under the law establishing the Meru Level 5 hospital to give the waivers she was giving?
No, the power is given by law to the CEC in charge of health and finance.
Would the governor's directive interfere with the free and independent exercise of the mind of the CEO and the board?
Yes, it's like she is the CEO of the county, so our word is taken with the evidence it should be taken with.
Lastly, Chair, this is the last one. Let's deal with the misconduct under theme number 5 about nomination of CECs. The evidence, Chair, will be Annex 19, which is the video, and the transcript of Annex 19 is at page 132 to 137 of Volume 1. Further evidence is in Annex 20, the transcript of which is to be found in pages 138 to 139 of Volume 1. Again, in the interest of time, I would pray we play the two clips together, then we can take the questions.